Alright, I need to see if my audio is working. And it is. Okay. So, welcome everyone to another video. This is going to be me talking about or bringing out my thoughts about NASCAR 21. Holy fuck. Alright, so for those who really don't know, NASCAR 21 recently came out. And the game is an absolute dumpster fire. It's god awful of a game. For one, I am not getting this game. Like, absolutely not. And here's why. For those who don't know, the game has been experiencing a lot of bugs and problems. Some have been fixed since, or up to the making of this video, but there are some that have not been fixed. So I'm just gonna go through all of them real quick. So basically, to start it all off, NASCAR 21 is very dull when it comes to content. I will say first of all that NASCAR 21 does have amazing graphics. The graphics and the looks of this game are really, really well done. And the paint booth is very nice. It's unfortunate that you can't have actual logos, so you're just gonna have to make your own using the other like squares and shapes that they give you in the paint booth. But with all that aside, the game, first of all, is just very, very bland when it comes to content. The only modes it really has, it pretty much only has two modes, online and offline. Offline pretty much being the only one that is playable. Why, you ask? Because online is an absolute fucking dumpster fire with there being zero private servers. Yep, you can't make a private lobby. Nor can you even create a lobby. They do basically what Wreckfest does, and you join into a randomly assigned lobby, and then NASCAR chooses at random which track you should race at, and then whatever track ends up being there, you race there. But here's the problem: because it's determined by vote and cannot be controlled. Basically, every single online server, you're going to have a bunch of trolls who are going to choose a track like Darlington or Talladega or some other like or some other track which makes it super, super easy to wreck other people. In other words, online mode is practically unplayable. If you somehow get a clean race from an online server, you practically won the lottery at that point. That's how rare it's going to be in order to actually play or actually have a good time online. It's just a pain in the ass to deal with. Not only that, but there's so much shit we're gonna have to dive into. That's just the online mode. Leagues, as a result, are basically going to be non-existent due to the fact that private lobbies do not exist. And the fact that you cannot control public lobbies makes online mode even worse. And we're like, oh, there's new stuff, or there's more stuff in the game. Well, as far as I know, the career mode sucks ass because there's only Cup Series, and also the charter systems and all that other shit exist, which can be pretty interesting, but at the same time, no. Not to mention the fact that there is actually no championship or season mode. Yeah, you don't have that. You have career mode, but it's only the Cup Series. I don't even know if there's a mode in which you can create your own team. I doubt that there is. I haven't heard of one yet. It's just so bad. And now we're going to get to the main problem with this. Offline mode. Holy fuck. I mean, my expectations of this game were low. I already have my doubts. but holy fuck. You could not have ever predicted that this game would be this bad, especially the offline mode. Let's start off. The game bugs and glitches like crazy, or the whole game in general. It's basically like Cyberpunk, in which it's gonna crash after about 10 minutes. And if you get past 30 minutes, consider yourself lucky. Now, I know they have fixed a couple of the bugs, but most of them are still there. They still exist. And the games, they keep on crashing even though it's been a few days after launch day. So, just as a whole, you really could not have predicted that the game would be this bad. You could not have predicted it. And I'm going all over the place with this, but I'm going to steer back on topic real quick. The AI are severely broken. Super speedways, apparently they break in the middle of the corner. They were able to fix that, thank God, but it can still happen if in the rare chance that it does. Online and offline mode, both of them have several bugs and glitches. You phase through the wall. Some of the AI cars literally do somersaults in the air. I've seen it. And also, apparently, the game decided to be NASCAR 2011, and AI cars don't know if there's a wreck in front of them. It just plows straight on through, resulting in massive pileups, especially when you race at Bristol. It's just bad. So bad. At least you do have, like, tracks and rosters. You got those updates, but even still, you can't even have fun on those tracks because of how god-awful the racing is. And that's just the truth. I mean, it's a challenge to play that game for more than an hour without getting bored or pissed off. Because of the horrible gameplay. Challenges are also gone, so you can't play them. Like I said, championship mode's gone. So there's really only 3 modes. Offline, career, online. All 3 of them are shit. It's literally pick your fucking poison. Offline, you can't play with other people unless you do share play. Which, even still, you could only play one at a time even if you do that. But the game as a whole sucks ass to play offline anyway, so I rather would not even play it. And then when it comes to online, you already heard the trolls and everything, and the horrible security and horrible job that the game does at being able to protect your own servers, or not your own, it's actually their own servers, and they do shit at protecting it. I mean, this is why you don't have, if it was an option to have that system, it would be okay. But if you're making that mandatory, that's the only setting you have. You can't have a private nor a user-controlled server. That is horribly bad. And that pretty much kills your audience. Now, I am going to say that I do not blame the actual creators of motorsport games. I'm not actually blaming them. They actually worked their asses off to make this game, and I respect them for that. I don't blame them for the game being awful. Who I do blame is the higher-ups of motorsport games. The guys who practically rushed the damn thing, and once again, just like NASCAR Heat 5, they released a game that was incomplete. And the thing is, this was supposed to be the new era, the new next gen for NASCAR games. It was supposed to be, oh, brand new, we're going to be in Central now. Everyone thought it was going to be on PS5. It turns out, no, it's going to be PS4. That's probably the reason why it keeps on crashing. And also, not only that, but they just removed so much of the game. I was really worried about the game from the trailers because of the fact that they only showed the graphics. Like, they just, every single ad they had, they focused entirely on the graphics. And I was like, oh god, the rest of the game is probably going to suck, and turns out I was right. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, if you haven't played the game, then you don't know. I don't need to play the game. Have you seen some of these fucking clips? I mean, for God's sake. I know a bad NASCAR game when I see it. I have NASCAR away for the PlayStation 3, and that's dog shit. This game, NASCAR 21, is dog shit. Another reason why I'm not going to get it is it costs $60, and that's just the normal version. It's $90 for the limited edition, or legendary edition, or whatever the fuck they call it. AKA an extra $30 just to get a Bill Elliott paint scheme and a few boosts in career mode, which hardly do jack shit. So, the game is just missing so much content and missing so much gameplay. I'm hoping that they do update it, not for my sake, but for the people that actually bought that game. Either they get a refund, or they actually get to have a fun experience. That game is not fun. It is not. It's a pain in the ass. It's good to laugh at for a few minutes. It's good to laugh at for the first hour, but then once you're done trying to laugh at its downfalls and ridiculousness, it just becomes an absolute clusterfuck. And you're just bored the whole time you're playing it. Either bored or pissed off. Most of the time, both. So I'm not getting that game. Like, absolutely not. And I feel so bad for the people who did pre-order it and listened to the hype and was like, oh, this is going to be one of the best NASCAR games ever, or at least one of the best NASCAR games in a long time, and then they get this. I mean, that's just... We already knew that this last game, that NASCAR Heat series, the whole series was pretty much disappointing, or mediocre at best, with Heat 3 and Heat 4 probably being the best two of the whole series. Heat 5 is basically the same thing as Heat 4, except Heat 5 was unfinished. Heat 1, or Heat Evolution, an absolute disaster of a game, and also fucking sucks. Has so much stupid shit to the game, and pretty much the only thing they did get right was the career mode, but that's even a long shot. NASCAR Heat 2, while okay than Heat Evolution, still was total ass. And Heat 3, Heat 4, they did improve and made some pretty decent games, even though I hardly even played them. Like, seriously, I played both games, and after about 2 or 3 hours, I became bored, and then just stopped playing altogether. Eventually, I would try to play, like, once in a while, but then I just get bored after less than, 30 minutes. And then I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm actually going to play a fun game that I have. So, it's just ridiculous, the fact that they hyped this game so much and promised so much to the people that actually do play these games, to the NASCAR gaming community. They promised so much to them that they were going to redeem themselves over their past mistakes. And what did they do? They just shat all over they just shat all over them. That's literally what they did. It's an absolute catastrophe of a game. And it's straight up betrayal. This is probably going to see the death of NASCAR games for a while. Just like how it was with the end of EA. It's probably going to lead to another downfall. But the problem is the contract with 704, or now I think it's a contract with Motorsport. Their contract still lasts until 2029. So we're fucked. We're literally fucked. They're going to keep on making these shitty games for the rest of the decade. How long are we going to have to wait in order to get a good NASCAR game? Do we have to wait all the way till 2029? Because at that point, I'll be fucking 25 years old. I won't even be playing PlayStation that much anymore. I wouldn't even be playing NASCAR games anymore. Is that how long everyone's going to have to wait? Until they're, like, literally attending college, or even out of college for some? Is that how long we're going to have to wait in order to get a good NASCAR game? Because I think it is. This game was Judgment Day. This game was the game to determine NASCAR's fate, or the fate of NASCAR video games. This was the game that they needed to get right in order to save their fan base, or in order to save NASCAR games. This is the game. NASCAR 21 is the game that they needed to get right. Not only did they not get it right, they made, I have to say, one of the worst NASCAR games I've ever seen. Not since Heat Evolution, but one of the worst NASCAR games I've seen since NASCAR the Game 2011. In fact, I could probably go even further. One of the worst games since NASCAR 08 for the PS3. It would be in the top 5, at least, of the worst NASCAR games that have been made. And number 1 in the most disappointing. Maybe 2 to NASCAR 08 for the PS3. Maybe number 2. But without a doubt would definitely be on that podium. NASCAR NASCAR 21 is the game that they needed to get right. Motorsport games, they had to get this game right. And they fucked it. They fucked it up. The NASCAR gaming community got fucked out of a good game again. And now we're going to have these people who are wasting their money. Like I said, again, it's $60 just for the normal version. $90 for the Ultimate Edition. It's just so disappointing. And it's a straight up betrayal to the NASCAR gaming community. It's a straight up betrayal. You cannot, under any circumstances, call this game good. You cannot. You cannot say that this solved any of the problems in NASCAR games. You cannot say that this game helped the NASCAR community. Except for one thing. It helped all of us realize, or no, confirm, because we pretty much have realized this for a long time now. We're now pretty much confirming it. That NASCAR games are fucked as long as we have these small teams like 704 and Motorsport control these things. I'm sorry, but you're gonna, if you want to promote a young fan base, a young gamer-filled fan base, if you want to bring them to NASCAR, or if you want to make money, you're going to have to make a good fucking game. EA are absolute dickheads. The company is a pile of shit. But the thing is, they can make good sport games. They made the NASCAR EA games are arguably some of the greatest NASCAR games ever made. Sorry, headset cut out there. But anyways, NASCAR Thunder 2004 is regarded as one of the greatest console NASCAR games ever made. If not one of the best NASCAR games ever made. Second only to NR 2003. Which, by the way, is still relevant despite the fact that it was made in the year 2003. 18 years since that game has been made. And that game is still regarded as one of the best. And one of the most played. iRacing, a game that doesn't even focus on NASCAR, is gaining more attention than the actual games that are supposed to be made for NASCAR. This is how depressing that this entire last decade of NASCAR games has been. NASCAR 2011, the game, was shit, especially if you played it for the Wii, which I did. Motion controls fucking sucked. But even the game as a whole wasn't really that good. NASCAR Inside Line, same thing as NASCAR 2011. It wasn't that good. NASCAR 14, 15. Okay, I guess. They're decent, but compared to the EA NASCAR games, they're still pretty shit. And then you got the Heat series. Heat Evolution was god-awful. Heat 2 was slightly better, but still bad. Heat 3 and 4 were decent games. Heat 5 was lesser than average, let's just say. Because it's pretty much, it was a copy-paste of Heat 4, but the fact that they didn't even complete it. Which it made sense because everyone was like, okay, it makes sense that this game is bad because they're working on NASCAR 21. They're working on the main project. And that main project is now out. And once again, we see a shitty NASCAR game. It's just so fucking bad. That's why so many people play Gran Turismo Sport, Project Cars 2, Wreckfest. That's why they're playing these other games, these other racing games, especially with Project Cars 2 and GT Sport, or more specifically Project Cars 2, because they actually have a NASCAR car in that game, and they race those. They race in those because that would provide a better experience than the actual NASCAR games. The official NASCAR games are worse than a fucking add-on to a racing game, a normal simulation racing game. It's so depressing. It's so sad. The fact is that we still are having to deal with this shit is ridiculous. This is the one game they needed to make. This is the one game that they needed to get right. They blew it. They straight up blew it. And as a result, the NASCAR gaming community, made up of not hundreds, not thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, maybe even millions. More than likely it's millions, have now been betrayed. Again. It's really, really depressing. And really, really sad. The NASCAR games continue to be bad, despite the fact that NASCAR is one of the top sport organizations in the United States, and the most popular motorsport in the United States. It's just so depressing. And, I mean, I'm done. I'm done giving these NASCAR games a chance. I'm not wasting my money. I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting anything else now on these fucking games. I'm done. I'm done. And that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm done. And I'm not the only one who's done. There are so many people that are done with these games. iRacing and NR 2003 are about to get a hell of a lot more sales. And a hell of a lot more downloads. Because it's either a game, despite the fact that it isn't a NASCAR game, or NR 2003 is, despite the fact that it's from 2003. Yeah, that's pretty fucking depressing. A game from 2003 is doing better than any game since. But it's just so sad and so depressing. It's betray. It's betrayal once again. This community, this gaming community has been betrayed so many times to the point which is it's actually become depressing. It's sad. It's ridiculous. I really did actually have hope for this game. For NASCAR 21, I actually did have second thoughts. But the whole time, I was saying no. This game more than likely is going to be a shithole. And that was what it was on the, not the back of my mind, but straight ahead. I'm like, this game is going to be shit. And I was fucking right. No matter how many bugs they fix, the sheer betrayal that it's not even the 704 games anymore, it's Motorsport games. The straight up betrayal that that the NASCAR gaming community has been given throughout these past years is ridiculous. You cannot make this up. You can't. It's just sad. And at the end of the day, there's not really anything else to say. There isn't. The, the game is just shit. NASCAR games or 704 Motorsport, they swung out. They're done. Game's over. That's the game. We're going home. It's done. They promised us a good game. They promised us a new era of NASCAR games. Or not a new era, but a better era. They promised us with so much. And what did they do? They shit the bed. Yet again. I cannot fully express my disappointment right now. I really cannot. Or it's not really not disappointment, but the disappointment in the NASCAR gaming community. I cannot express them. It isn't just me. Look at the amount of people that you have betrayed. Look. It's done. We've had enough. This is the last straw. This is the final game. Motorsport games might make one last NASCAR game, but no one's going to buy it. No one will. Everyone is just going to switch on to iRacing and not give a single shit no matter what Motorsport games makes after this. I hope that I jinx that, but I don't think I can. We're fucked. They are fucked. NASCAR 21 is an absolute dumpster fire of a game. When it was said to be one of the best NASCAR games that we would get in a long time, they betrayed us again. NASCAR games as a whole We're in a dark era. And that era just got even darker. We're done. We're not going to buy these games anymore. And the fact that we waited so long for this game to come out, it just adds even more fuel to the fire. We're done. NASCAR games, 704 and Motorsport, they've failed once again. It's over. It's just, I don't think I have anything else left to say. I wish I could, but I really don't. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will never play NASCAR 21. I'm never gonna play it. So, yeah. I'm done. But, yeah. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I decided to do a PlayStation stream again because you'd hear better audio with my mic. It's just the fact that we've been disappointed for so long. It's just, we're done. They've shit the bed again. It's over. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might be making more videos soon. Probably playing other games and stuff. Because it is Halloween weekend, so. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. And God help us all.